After more than a year on his father's campaign trail, Eric Trump cast his ballot just moments ago here in New York City. But what was it like casting that ballot? I would love to have a chance to talk to Eric about this.
Oh, well, we can make that happen, Brian, because Eric Trump is here now with his Election Day message to everyone. That had to be surreal, to look at the ballot and see your father's name.
So proud of the man. I mean, that's all I can say, honestly, so proud of the man. Everybody had written him off. No one gave him any chance. He was fighting the greatest political machine, arguably in the United States history, maybe in world history. You know, he's fighting special interest money, the likes of which, again, no one's ever seen before, right? And he beat 17 people during the primaries. We accepted the nomination, Don, Ivanka, and I, and Tiffany at the convention when he got to the 1237 number. And here we are today on Election Day, and I could not be more proud of the man. I mean, he is an awesome guy. He's been the greatest father in the world, and I mean, what he's accomplished is remarkable.
Plus, you're very optimistic, and when you look at the polls, and we're not talking specifics, just they are dead even for the most part, you think the enthusiasm level and also the number of Democrats who are going to cross party lines and independents who are going to go your father's way, it ultimately will break in his favor, and he's going to be the next president-elect of the United States.
No question to me. I mean, I've traveled tens of thousands of miles on the campaign trail over the last 18 months. I've touched hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Everywhere we go, people, I mean, I have 1,000 people show up for me whenever I go anywhere, let alone, and I'm not the candidate. In fact, I don't even really like politics. I probably will never go into politics. I mean, it's incredible. I was with him last night. We were in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We were in New Hampshire. These rallies, I mean, people were standing outside for 6-7 hours to try and get in so they could be, you know, front and center. I mean, they're holding signs, they're cheering, they're going crazy. I mean, he started a movement. This isn't a traditional political campaign. This is a movement to take back our country from career politicians. And he's just amazing. I mean, he's amazing, and what he's created is amazing.
A question for you. Ivanka said this last night. It kind of struck me. She says on a personal level, she was probably a little bit naive about what it meant when your dad declared his candidacy.
Yeah.
For Eric Trump.
Going down that escalator.
What did you think it meant? And now, a year and a half later, what did it mean?
Well, listen, we thought it was going to be obviously big. No one, I don't think, ever would have guessed it would have been this big. And I think the shocking thing to me is having a front row seat to really the political system in this country is how corrupt it truly is. And I'm not a fan of people stealing emails or anything else, but if there's one thing that WikiLeaks did do, it's show how bad it is behind the scenes, and it has to be cleaned up. I mean, the lack of ethics in the system, the amount of corruption in the system, it's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. And as a civilian in this process, I mean, some of the things that I've seen, I've just shook my head to. And as a country, we deserve so much better. But, you know, drain the swamp is kind of the big catchphrase these days. It's a great hashtag that's all over the place. It trends #1 everywhere. I mean, people want less from Washington, D.C. I mean, no one thinks that Washington, D.C. is helping this country. People are disenfranchised in so many ways. They want career politicians out of the equation, and I think that's really helped to rise the fuel of my father, who's really kind of been the total outsider. Not the Democrat, not the Republican, the total outsider of this process.
Through no fault of your own, it's a gift you brought into a wealthy family. Sure. What was it like meeting people who aren't wealthy? Yeah. Middle class, lower class, all different types. What's that been like for you?
Brian, the stories that I have going across the country where, you know, you see, you know, I saw somebody the other day who came up to me and said, listen, I get $700 of government assistance. My insulin shots cost me $1,000. I mean, I can't survive. I can't afford food. I can't afford anything. I mean, you hear those stories all the time. I had a woman crying to me 2 days ago. Obamacare, my increases went up so much, I had to opt my entire family out of health care. Now I'm playing Russian roulette with my kid's life. And you know what the worst part of this, Eric, is? At the end of the year, I have to pay a $700 penalty to the U.S. government for something that I didn't want before. I mean, you hear thousands of these stories. I walk through factories where they're laying off employee after employee after employee because jobs are going became
It became real. Not a stat, it became real. Eric, thanks so much for helping us out and bringing us inside.
Thank you.
Our incredible campaign.
It's been a great honor being on this couch so many times with you.
It's been great to have you as well.
Thank you.
Very handy. You live a couple of blocks away.
Hopefully have you back soon.